Good afternoon. Fade to Black breaking news for this Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. This is all of the news that you need. I'm Jimmy Church. You know what to do. Help support the show, everything that we do around here. Get your Fade to Black T-shirts. 2 ways to get them. 2 links below. Get a Game Changer membership. We have the new chat room open over at jimmychurchradio.com. You need to be a Fadernaut to do that. Go over to jimmychurchradio.com, register to become a Fadernaut. Become an official Fadernaut. 4 ways to do it. There are 2 ways to get T-shirts. The links are below. All right. I made the announcement yesterday after I found out about it. I have been nominated for Best TV Host for the 2024 Conscious Awards in Miami. I've posted out the links to that on social media where you can go and vote for every award category for the Conscious Awards. The links are in social media. I put them up last night in the chat room, but now they're throughout social media. It's a very humbling experience to go through. I want to thank everybody that it caught me by surprise. I didn't know. I had no clue. The submissions for nominees were there, but it's just one of those things, right? I didn't know, and to have that happen, I'm just humbled and honored. And so, but now you can actually go and vote. So yeah. The shock of it is over, and now let's see what happens. All right, the links for that for everybody to vote are out. Okay, tonight on Fade to Black, Hugh Neumann is with us. We're going to talk about his new book that is out about Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe. We're doing both tonight and much more. It's all megaliths all night long tonight with Hugh Neumann. Tomorrow night, Dr. Heather Lynn is back with us. Archaeology. Yeah. The archaeology of the universe and other possible civilizations out there. So that's tomorrow night with Dr. Heather Lynn. And then Thursday, Brigitte Barclay is with us. We're going to talk about the 1993 Brentwood abduction right here in Southern California. It's an amazing story. I've talked to her directly about this. I got the full thing from top to bottom. It's amazing. And so that will be going down Thursday night. Got a busy day in front of us here on the news. So let's get straight to it. On this day in history, 1960. It's the iconic photo of Che Guevara. The photo was taken on March 5th, 1960, 7 years before his death, and it was taken at a funeral for workers killed in an explosion at a Cuban port that Fidel Castro's revolutionary government blamed on the United States. And an entire T-shirt industry was also born on this day in 1960. Here's your Fader fact. Fader facts to me are amazing, and the research involved with it. Today's Fader fact is truly unbelievable. That's because in 2018, a young female Arctic fox traveled from Norway to Canada, covering a distance of 2,179 miles in just 76 days, crossing vast expanses of sea ice and glaciers, setting records for both the speed and distance of travel. It was released into the wild with a GPS tracker on March 26, 2018. And 21 days later, it went ashore in Greenland and then migrated all the way to Canada. And that is your Fader fact. Fully vetted. Go check out the story and the photographs. It's amazing. That's a real Fader fact. Let's get to the breaking news. It happened today. Meta's family of apps, including Facebook and Instagram, experienced widespread technical problems lasting more than 2 hours earlier today, with hundreds of thousands of users reporting errors in accessing the social media services. Users reported problems including being logged out of Facebook, and when they attempted to log back in, they were shown an error message that said something went wrong. Please try again. According to monitoring service Down Detector, error reports spiked at about 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time today. As of approximately 11 a.m., Down Detector had received more than 500,000 error reports. About 76% of the problems reported by Facebook users related to trouble logging in. At 12:19 p.m. Eastern Time today, Meta announced they had resolved the issue. Still don't know what it was. Today was the longest downtime for Facebook since March of 2019, when the service was down for about 24 hours across multiple apps. Yes, the world came to a screeching halt on that day in March. Europa, Jupiter's ice-cloaked ocean moon, contains far less oxygen than previously thought, making it a poor candidate for sustaining alien life. Researchers came to this conclusion after analyzing data compiled from NASA's Juno mission. Calculations from a 2022 flyby of the moon reveal that Europa's frozen surface only produces about 26 pounds of oxygen per second, according to a study published yesterday in the journal Nature Astronomy. This number is far lower than previous computer model predictions, which estimated the surface produced about 2,205 pounds of oxygen per second. That implies the moon's life-sustaining oxygen supply is more like a trickle, not a torrent. However, scientists remain optimistic that Jupiter's fourth largest moon, which is perhaps best known for having an underground ocean, could still harbor life in the form of microbes. Kind of bummed out. Doesn't change things, though. It doesn't change things. My Titan. I think the magic may be on Titan. More on that later. Archaeologists have found evidence that the ancient Maya consumed tobacco as a drink. That's right. All of this for ritual and healing purposes. For the study published in the journal Antiquity, a team of researchers analyzed chemical residues from cylindrical ceramic vases found in the archaeological zone at an ancient city on the coast of Guatemala. The study revealed physical evidence of tobacco use at the site during the late Classic period at around 650 to 950 AD. Specifically, researchers detected traces of nicotine in the residues, indicating that the vessels contained tobacco infusions and other liquid preparations. And check this out, drinking tobacco. All right, let's leave that there, because now, south of Guatemala, in Panama, archaeologists have uncovered an ancient tomb of a male lord featuring a remarkable collection of gold artifacts deemed to be of incalculable historical and cultural value. The tomb was found at the archaeological site of El Caño in Panama, the country's Ministry of Culture just announced. Archaeologists unearthed a number of gold artifacts in the tomb. These include 2 belts made of spherical gold beads, 4 bracelets, 2 earrings in the shape of human figures, a man and a woman, an earring in the shape of a crocodile, 5 earrings made with sperm whale teeth featuring gold sheaths, bells, and a set of circular gold plates. The photographs are incredible. The excavation of the tomb, which dates at around the same period, 750 to 800 AD, has not been completed. Therefore, it is not yet known exactly how many other people are buried there. What is known is that the male lord was buried face down on top of a woman. Wow, in Panama, of all places. Earlier this week, British sailors, Royal Marines, and a U.S. Coast Guard team on the HMS Trent intercepted a suspected smuggling speedboat south of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Now, check this out. The smugglers began tossing everything overboard. Their illegal cargo was getting dumped as they fled towards land. But Trent, the HMS Trent, and her fast seaboats and an American patrol aircraft gave chase, eventually recovering over, check this out, 3,000 kilos of cocaine and other drugs with an estimated street value of $380 million. Wow. You see those photographs. The famous booth. You remember the last episode of The Sopranos? We all watched it, right? Okay. Tony sits down in a booth and has a talk with his family. That famous booth from The Sopranos' final episode has been sold on eBay for $82,600. There were 238 bids to win the original booth that the Soprano family sat in for the final scene when the auction ended last night. The booth was put up for auction by the owners of Holston's Ice Cream in Bloomfield, New Jersey, who are currently renovating their ice cream shop. The booth includes both seats, table, and a divider wall with a plaque stating, "Reserved for the Sopranos family." I wish I would have known that was up for auction. Anyway, scientists in Brazil are releasing genetically modified mosquitoes in the environment to combat soaring cases of dengue fever in the country. More than 1 million cases of the viral mosquito spread infection have been reported in the first 2 months of this year. 226% more than were reported in the same period of 2023. Various cities are in states of emergency. For example, Rio de Janeiro declared the outbreak a public health emergency after the city recorded more than 42,000 cases of the disease since the start of the year. That's right. Today's March 5th. In case you didn't know, there is no specific treatment available for dengue. There isn't a cure. Instead, medical care is just to relieve patients' pain and maintain their vitals. The disease can't be spread directly from person to person. But Brazil isn't the first country to do this. Oh, no. In 2021, genetically modified mosquitoes were released for the first time in the United States to reduce the numbers of wild disease-causing mosquitoes in the Florida Keys. And finally, I'll leave you with this. Drinking 2 liters or more per week of artificially sweetened diet beverages, the equivalent of a medium-sized fast food diet soda a day, raise the risk of irregular heartbeat called atrial fibrillation by 20% when compared to people who drank none, a new study has found. That's right. Known as AFib, atrial fibrillation is an irregular heartbeat often described by many people who have it as a quiver, a flutter, or a flip-flop of the heart in the chest. Drinking a similar number of regular, non-diet added sugar beverages raise the risk of the condition only by 10%, while drinking about 4 ounces of pure, unsweetened juices, such as orange or vegetable juice, was associated with an 8% lower risk of atrial fibrillation, the study found. Now, money was spent on this study. This is common sense. First off, diet drinks suck. They taste awful. Don't drink them. There's no reason to drink them. They taste awful. That's that. sugar added beverages, sodas, and all of that stuff with those fake sugars, not pure cane sugars, they taste awful too, and they're bad for you. It's called common sense. Just drink Mexican Coke. You'll be just fine. I can't believe people spent money on this. Drink fruit juice. You'll be more healthy. No kidding. No. What are we doing? I can give this advice for free. There you go. There's all the Fade to Black breaking news that you need for this Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. Breaking news is produced by Renee Neumann. I want to remind everybody tonight on the show is Hugh Neumann, no relation to Renee. We will be talking about Göbekli and Karahan Tepe, his new book, and all kinds of megalithic rocks. That's what we're doing tonight with Hugh Neumann. I'm Jimmy Church. All I've got is Göbekli Tepe.